Alright, man, so today we're going to be making the worst character in the game, meta. So you're probably thinking, who's the worst character in the game? The worst character in the entire game is obviously May. So you might be thinking, nah, man, Hoy's the worst character in the game. He's way too inconsistent, but he has so much disturbance resistance inside of his kit that fits into his niche. So Hoy is meant to be an unrestricted shooter, so he can shoot at any given point in time and still have a good chance of getting those shots in there. That is Hoy's entire gimmick. It's the same thing as David, but just weaker. And the 17% disturbance resistance alone off the jump stop shot level 4 on Hoy is way better than May's entire kit put together. And that says a lot, considering the fact that Hoy is a terrible character and he's way better than the worst character in the entire game. So let's go ahead and get to it. What would we do to make May a better character? The first thing we will start with is buffing up her stats. So the very first change I would make to May, I would buff her base speed from 65 to 74. So this would put her around the speed of someone like Nana. She would actually be able to keep up with a Nana behind the screen with this speed stat. And she'll also be able to sacrifice a little bit more speed to go into other stats if she wants to. Like, you think about Nana, she has 74 speed at base. And then you factor in the fact that she's able to sacrifice a piece of speed gear and still be around the same speed as someone like May. And then she can go into 3-point on that piece of gear instead of speed. So yeah, I would definitely buff May's base speed from 65 to 74. It just doesn't make sense. Her description says she's a swift assist master. Where's the swift, Raccoon Digi? I see no swift anywhere. So the second thing I would do, I would buff her base close shot from 54 to 79. Now we all know Albert has 81 at base. He doesn't get any from his cells. May has 54 at base and she doesn't get any from her cells. And it just doesn't make sense how neither one of these two characters get any close shot from their cells. They're meant to be inside the paint. They're meant to do those layups, but it seems like they're trying to force you into doing passes off of those, occasionally finishing them when you feel like the defender is gonna not jump or anything like that. So yeah, would definitely buff her close shot from 54 to 79. It just makes more sense for a person that's designed to be inside to have a stat that contributes to her being able to score in there. All right, so now we're moving on to the abilities. We're going to be talking about the usefulness of enhanced handling. So it's not really that useful. We all know it is not useful at all. You get 5% less chance of getting ripped than if you're doing a pump fake that goes up to 10%. And then the level 3 basically also contributes to the pump fake because you're technically dribble restricted for a total of 15% during a pump fake. So yeah, not very useful because Ayumi has a 25% extra chance. So if you take that 15% that May is getting off of a pump fake and then you subtract that from what Ayumi is getting in terms of extra steal rate, you're looking at a 10% extra chance of May getting ripped. And then you factor in the Nico and Boa. So Nico's quick steal gives her a 40% extra chance, and Boa's diving steal gives like a 40% extra chance as well. So it just doesn't make sense to have 15%. So the first thing that I thought of when it came down to this ability was to just rework the whole thing, remove the ball restricted and pump fake bonuses, and just make the steal resistance 40% in total. So you want this character right here should be the strongest counter in the entire game to characters who are like Nico and to characters who are like Boa, because all that extra steal rate, and they're really good at stealing the ball. And if May could just have an enhanced handling that actually counters that kind of stuff, you might see more May as a counter pick to someone like Nico, or more of a counter pick towards someone like Boa. You don't see much Boa. You see a Nico before you see a Boa, but the fact that she exists makes us have to consider these factors as well. So the second thing that I had in mind was just changing enhanced handling to double pump 2. So double pump 2 at level 2, it will give you 5% extra accuracy. The regular double pump also gives you 5% extra accuracy, but it's split between level 2 and level 3. But double pump 2 will give you 5% extra accuracy at the level 2, and then at level 3 it would let you do a layup pass during a double pump, and that will certainly come in handy for several reasons. Because reason number one, a lot of the time they're not going to bite your regular layup passes. You have to bait them. So if you go into a regular layup, you can do layup pass psychology off of that, and then you can also do regular layup and double pump psychology, and on top of that you can do double pump or double pump layup pass psychology. It'll just be really good for someone like May because no one else in the entire game can do a layup pass off of a double pump. It'll keep her unique. It will make her better at the exact same time. And the next thing I would do is change layup pass to smart layup pass for obvious reasons because smart layup pass, there's a possibility for you to do a pinpoint pass. Now, several times in the past I've mentioned that it is mostly useless to have a pinpoint pass on the smart layup pass because I don't see it activate very frequently, but I was completely wrong. I was looking for the actual pinpoint animation, but it doesn't look similar to the pinpoint animation. It's just so much faster than a regular pass, and it still cannot be intercepted. So that's reason number one on why I would give her a smart layup pass instead of just a regular layup pass. And the second reason I would give her a smart layup pass instead of a regular one is so that she can actually do alley-oops off of her layups. So just think about it, man. So many more psychologies you can mix into this. She already has a bunch based off of what I've given her already. So she can go into the paint, do her double pump layup, big bite stat, and she goes into a pass. And once she goes into the pass, then she can do the smart layup alley-oop like Albert, smart layup alley-oop like Silverwolf, and it will certainly help in terms of getting her teammates more points and in terms of her getting more assists. This is what I would do to fix May. It's not really that much to change. Well, actually it is a lot of change, but she needs a lot of change for her to be a good character because her kit is so outdated. She still has the same kit, the same stats from when she was released, and even when she was released, she was still the worst point guard in the game. So please, Raccoon Digi, you don't have to consider all of this. Just consider some of it, at least the buff to enhance handling. You don't even have to remove it and replace it with double pump 2, even though that would definitely be nice. But at least just buff it up to 40% steal resistance. You not have to rely on being ball restricted so that you can actually avoid getting ripped by these Nico players and these Boa players. So alright, man, we're gonna wrap this video up. Y'all want to see more of this? Go ahead and drop a like, sub to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one, man.